Hello, welcome to Shad Life. I am super excited to announce another winter project that I'm going to be doing. I'm so stoked on this. I managed to be able to get a set of these Repop Mongoose Moto Mag wheels. I'll pull them out of the box in just a second, but my plan is with these wheels is it's the very first part that I just got that is part of a retro modern build that I'm going to be doing. So of course this is BMX, and what I want to do is I want to build a modern spec bike, meaning modern geometry, 1 1/8 head tube, all of the good stuff that make bikes much better than they were back in the 70s and 80s. But then I wanted to have that iconic look of bikes then. And for this build, I'm looking for 1979, 1980, kind of that era, because that's when I learned about BMX and when I got into BMX. So I'm super stoked on this. And honestly, as a kid back then, if I would have had the money, I probably would have done a build very much like what I'm going to be doing here. So let's take the wheels out of the box and show those to you. And I'll talk a little bit about these wheels. They are an iconic BMX wheel. They are basically at the very beginning when BMX started to evolve and what came out at the time. So Mongoose Moto Mags, super recognizable. There's nothing else like them. There were some companies that copied these, but these are unique. At the time, Mongoose was called BMX Products, so they have it say BMX Products on here. They got the model number. This was just like the originals. And then they have it say Motomag, but it says Motomag 3, which I really like because then people can't fake it. They can't buy these. These look so close to the originals. You don't want people to be able to buy new stuff that just came out within the last year and then try to claim that it was the original and then try to sell it for a ridiculous amount of money or whatever. So I'm glad they stamp it appropriately. So this is technically the third generation of Motomag wheels. They just skipped a few decades, right? So 1974, they came out with the first generation of these wheels. Now back in 1974, there weren't even really BMX frames yet. People were racing on Schwinn Stingrays were the most common frames and things like that. And they were really having a problem with parts holding up. The wheels from back then were just like steel wheels. They weren't very strong. And so that was a big failure point on BMX bikes. So they came out with these and they were a game changer. But Mongoose claims when they came out with these, more problems arose. And that was wheels were no longer the failure point. So then they started having frames fail and other parts fail, forks fail, things like that. And that's why Mongoose decided to make a frame and fork. Also in 1974, right as when these wheels were coming out, Redline made their first frames. I believe it was a square back, and that was the first ever straight tube BMX frame. So 1974 was a big year for BMX. And I didn't really learn about BMX until 79, 80. These wheels were instantly recognizable. They were iconic. I knew people wanted them. They were cool to have. Are they light? No, they never have been. These aren't even light. That isn't what they were about. They were about being durable and strong. So they did come out with a Motomag 2. I want to say it was like 78, 79. The Motomag 2 came out because the original ones, let's pull out the other wheel, the rear wheel, they were coaster brake only. So if you know coaster brakes, they had that arm on there and you'd back pedal to stop. So when they came out with the 2s, they did make them freewheel compatible, and I don't know if they had both options or not. I'll see if I can find that information. I'll put it down below, but they were definitely freewheel compatible, and they made these up until about 84. I would say by 1980, 81, Skyway Tough Wheels had come out, and they were much lighter, and they were also strong, and then aluminum race wheels were out. So these kind of fell out of favor, mostly because of their weight, but they're still like just a super iconic wheel. So I'm so glad that I got a pair. I got the second run of them. They had an earlier run and I missed the opportunity to get them, so I got them on their second run. And this is going to kick off my retro modern build that I plan on doing over the winter. Super excited about it. And there'll be some BMX history throughout this build that I talk about, especially from when I got into BMX, 1979, 1980 era. So that's what makes it so exciting for me to do this build. Modern geometry, modern spec, but with that retro look. I did order the frame and fork already, but I'm not going to disclose what it is. I'll let you guess in the comments. Go ahead and see if you can guess what it is. And then when I get the frame and fork, I'll reveal it and you can see if you were right or not. So yeah, and other parts that I ordered already, I've already ordered tires. I've ordered a seat. I've ordered, what else have I ordered? I've ordered a few miscellaneous things that are kind of that same retro modern category. But I haven't found handlebars yet. I do want to get a V-bar, and I know there's a few companies that make it, and that's actually made it more challenging because there's probably like 4 or 5 companies that make retro V-bars, and I just want to make sure I get the right one that I want to have, the right feel, the right look, all of that stuff. And I haven't figured out stem yet. Crank set I haven't figured out yet. There's a few options there. I do have to go a 3-piece and things like that. So this will be a build that I do over time as I try to find the parts that I need for this build. And as I get those parts in and as I'm building it up, I'll do videos on it. So yeah, the next thing to come in will be the frame and fork. And you know, I'll even stick the wheels on there and we can kind of like dream a little bit, see how it's gonna look, things like that. This will be really fun. I'm stoked about this winter project. More to come on this. Yeah, I know. You wanna see the wheels again? There you go. Super awesome. Yeah, I mean, they look exactly like the originals. So cool. Awesome. I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.